Hi everyone, this is Heather Lawton from the Flourish.Academy. I'm here with my good friend Valerie today. Hey Val.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We have some work planned today, but I thought since you were here, I'm going to take the opportunity to ask you questions because I think you're amazing.
Well, thank you.
I think your work is fantastic. I think your photos are great, but it's not all about the photos. You're really good at marketing.
Thanks.
So, okay, for those of people watching that don't know you, tell us a little bit about your business, what you shoot.
Well, I am a children, family, senior photographer.
Children, family, senior, no weddings.
No weddings.
No weddings.
Nope, never done weddings. Don't plan on it.
No. That's okay. Those aren't for you. That's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And how did you get started?
I got started in the business about 6 years ago, but I picked up a camera right after our honeymoon. We got married in 2003, and we went on honeymoon in Hawaii, and I had the very first Kodak point and shoot digital camera.
Oh,
the
nice.
pictures were terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
And Nikon was just coming out with the first digital SLR, so I bought a D70. That January after our honeymoon.
Which was still a pretty terrible camera.
Yeah.
But better than the point and shoot.
Yes.
That's so funny. We went to Hawaii on our honeymoon, and it was 99. There was a guy that we met on a sunset cruise that had the first digital camera I had ever seen. It took a floppy disk.
Oh my goodness.
Like one of those 3.5 floppy disks.
Yeah.
It was a Sony Mavica, and I went home and bought it. This is 1999. It was like 1 megapixel. And your photos were on this disc, and you would check. It was awful.
Oh my goodness.
I know, wasn't that crazy? But I loved it because I thought, oh, it's the future. I can take photos and delete them and see them. So it was really exciting. Anyway, but you weren't in photography at the time.
No.
Right?
So then after I got the Nikon D70, I took classes at CCAC and learned how to shoot on manual.
Yeah.
And I remember we had built our house and we had put a yard in, and I had the sprinkler out, and I learned shutter speed by photographing the sprinkler.
Right. So you could see when you would freeze the versus letting motion in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you were working corporate at the time.
I was in pharmaceutical sales.
Of course you were. You know how I could have guessed that? And when the first time you told me that, I was like, yes, you were, because you're gorgeous.
Thank
Did
you.
you notice they don't hire ugly people in this job?
Oh,
If you're in pharmaceutical sales, it's because you're good looking, and you're good at what you do, of course. But how many years did you do that?
10.
10 years. That was a long time.
Yes.
So when and how was the transition for you?
So my son Luke was born in 2006, and then in 2008 my daughter was born, and I had been working part-time in the industry. And then they were laying off sales reps, and I volunteered to be laid off.
Yeah, were you like, pick me?
Yeah,
Maybe.
So, and then after that, I spent a couple years just learning photography and studying and taking a few workshops sent around setting up your business and Photoshop, Lightroom.
Yeah, all of that. So
and
it was a perfect time for you.
It was perfect.
Yeah, so the kids were little, you're like, I can stay home with my kids, I can leave my job, it all just kind of came together.
It did.
So when you started your business, how did you start getting clients? Like everybody always asks, I'm starting my business, how do you get your first clients?
My first clients were my neighbors and my family.
That
Happens with a lot of people. And it just spiraled from there.
And they just told people and you got more? Why? How?
Well, I was very focused on prints. And making sure that people printed their photos and that they were hanging on their walls.
Oh, from the beginning you were about that. So were you giving them digital files or no?
No.
Even at the beginning?
No.
You're brave. I wasn't brave enough to do that because I thought that's what they want, so I'm going to give it to them. But you said, let me get you prints. And you were selling prints?
I'd still say about 80% of my business is prints.
Wow. And you did that right out of the gate?
Yes.
So do you think it was that friends saw it on their walls? And then they hired you?
Yes. Because in 2008, I wasn't really big into social media. I had really little kids. And,
and it was early on. I don't feel like Facebook had hit its tipping point yet either. So we weren't leveraging it then like we are now.
Yeah.
So really it was just word of mouth.
Yes.
And then one person told him. How fast did that happen for you?
It happened at my own pace.
Yes.
Because the kids were little, my goal was I did want to stay home and I did want to be a mom. And so it really just happened at my own pace.
Yes.
So
you just grew it how you wanted it.
And I decided that probably when my daughter went to kindergarten that I really wanted to make things, make this financially successful and just be out in the workforce a little bit more.
Yeah, more full time,
Yes.
even though still part time. But was it ever a challenge for you to get clients, or do you feel like they just came to you?
I'd say they just came to me, but
I think
slowly. And like I said, you know, it just like I didn't go all out at the beginning,
right?
Because
and you didn't have
time.
You didn't have advertising or marketing then, really?
No.
So I'm sure that people are watching, thinking, okay, but how? Okay. Here's the thing. Success leaves clues. You're successful right out of the gate. My job is to figure out, okay, what made you successful so that people could replicate it, right? Because thankfully, I didn't struggle to get clients either. But then I look back and I think, how? Because to be honest, my photos weren't that good. Not in the beginning.
Mine weren't either.
So what do you think it was about you that caused people to tell other people to, hey, you should check out my friend Val? Like, what is it, do you think?
From the beginning, I always made each client feel like they were my only client. And so I still to this day update them through the process. Like I'm going through your images now, I'm editing them.
Smart.
I'll be contacting you to meet with you very soon. You know, your prints are ordered, I'll update you on the tracking info, or, you know, when they get shipped to me, I usually go through them and then send them out, or we meet. So communication, and I have never done an online gallery. I've been in-person sales since day one.
From the beginning.
Yes, that was just natural to me. I'm a salesperson.
Yeah. Pharmaceutical sales, photo sales. It's basically the same thing.
Yes.
With drugs, photos. But what I love is that communication. And I've always said to my brides, like, I want them to feel like theirs is the only wedding I've ever had. Mm-hmm. That I'm experienced, I know what I'm doing. But I have no other clients. My world is theirs.
Yes.
Because I think photographers get really busy and they like to say things like, oh, I'm really busy, or I have so many orders, I'll get back to you, please forgive me. When I see someone, photographer or business owner, post on social media and say, hey, to all of my clients, I'm really busy, I'm, you know, backlogged, I'll get to you when I can, please understand, I just cringe.
Yes.
Don't ever do that. Never. Because what you've just told everybody, clients and potential future, is you're too busy for them. I would never want anybody to feel like that. I want them to feel and I think that's the key, is you connected with them, they loved you, and they felt valued, cared for.
Yes.
And you continue that, and it doesn't matter if you get busy.
Right.
If I get too busy, that's my fault, not my client. So why would I put that on them? So in the fall, you'll see a lot of photographers so busy, which is great, but you don't necessarily want your clients to think you're so busy you don't have time for them.
No.
And I bet they appreciate the constant.
They can see you're busy if you update your website and that you update your sessions, and
you don't have to scream it from the rooftops.
No.
Okay. Do you feel like there was an inflection point in your business where things went from like, okay, this is kind of fun and on the side, to, whoa, this is real?
It was the year my daughter went to kindergarten.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my husband's company was downsizing at the time. And so I knew at that year, she was in school, my son had already been in school, I wanted to grow my business, but him being home for 9 months allowed me to do that.
Yes.
So it was good and bad.
Yeah.
But it really, I really focused on my business at that point, and I had a lot of clients that fall.
So was that because he was home, he could help you?
He could help me more.
Yeah. And he was home, so you're like, well, I probably need to make some money.
Yes.
So
that was a little motivation.
A little bit of a motivating factor. I've got to step it up and make some money. What year was that? You told me 2008, 9?
Well, she was born in 2008, so kindergarten would have been like 2014.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking when she was born. Okay. When you started to get more clients and you started to think more about marketing, how did you approach it?
At that point, I was still just really, it was really a word of mouth business.
Yes.
I mean, this year was my New Year's resolution to really keep up with Facebook and Instagram and my website. Like,
more social media.
Yes. Yeah. Before that, it had just been word of mouth.
Yes.
So, which I'm fortunate that my business grew like that. But I had time to do more.
Yeah, you felt like you should do more. Okay, if someone is getting clients and word of mouth isn't working for them, what would you suggest?
Really, I mean, it just takes one client to do that. So finding that perfect client.
Find a perfect client, treat them well.
Yes, treat them well.
And give them something to talk about.
Yes.
Which for you is the personal attention, the communication.
And there may be someone in school who knows a lot of people, in your child's preschool or school, or somebody that really just knows a lot of people in town. And maybe, try to work with them.
Right. So really what you're saying is it just takes one. Mm-hmm. If I can get one or a handful of clients, I should be getting more from word of mouth. And if I'm not, something's wrong.
Yes.
And it could be me, it could be the photos, but I have to give them a reason to talk. Don't you think that they need something to talk about?
Yes.
So you better make it over the top. Okay.
And you attract the clients kind of that you are too.
Yes.
I wanted clients to have beautiful pictures in their homes. And so I had to do that. I had to create a space that had large images, with beautiful images in my home. Because I did most of my in-person sales at my home, at my dining room table.
Okay, so they're coming into your home. Mm-hmm. Right. So you have to practice what you preach in terms of these images on the wall. And you're cute, so you're attracting cute clients. You're high-end, so the high-end client. I know I'm embarrassing her. She's very humble, but it's true. You attract who you are, and you have this mindset. You believe in yourself, and you're confident, and they come into your home, and you're like, here's everything that I offer, and it just works for you.
Yes.
Now, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can meet in their home, but they could meet elsewhere, right?
Sure.
I mean, does it have to be in your home?
I mean, albums are portable.
Yes.
You could even bring in a nice mounted 11 by 14.
Right. And meet somebody at their home or in Starbucks. My friend Lindsay goes to her clients.
I do that as well.
Yeah.
If they do framing, I do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go to their house. Because you have a little bit of interior design in you, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Tell me more about that.
Well, I just love to shop.
So basically it boils down to
and stuff for my home. So, yes, it all kind of works together.
Yeah. Everything, you're very stylish. And like it or not, we're in the business of style. And image and how you present yourself and your product matters. It is everything. The very first time I met you, which I don't even remember when it was a while ago, but I remember thinking, okay, she gets it.
I think it was the year that my husband lost his job. I think that was the year, because things grew and I was just kind of like, what do I do next?
Yeah, how did you find me? Just searching? Or?
I think you had posted a lot on Facebook, and you were transitioning into the mentoring.
Yes.
So we had met at those pug meetings.
Oh, that's right.
Way back when.
Yeah.
And and I knew that you could help me.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
And you did.
Yeah, thank you.
I still remember our first meeting. We circled core values.
Yes.
And you really helped me define my business.
Oh, right.
Because if it was something that I didn't really want to do, an extended family session,
off the
I
table.
did a few of those, and it wasn't my favorite thing to do. So it didn't fit into my core values, and then I was able to give them an answer that
instantly. You didn't have to struggle with it.
No.
The answer is no, because that doesn't fit in with my essentialism of my business,
yes.
which is brilliant. You know what, I'm going to come back to you. I want to talk about First Communion, but do you network with vendors, and what does that look like?
Yes. A couple local children's boutiques, and then some hair and makeup artists, and I always keep my business card in my cell phone case. So
you pass it out a lot.
I pass it out a lot.
Yeah. How do you start? If someone is starting and they're thinking, how do I network with a children's boutique or a makeup artist? What's your approach for that?
In terms of the children's boutiques, I would refer a lot of clients there to get their clothing, because I knew they were good. Right. They had good clothes, and
it fit your style. It fit.
Yes.
So you'd say to them, "Go here." They would go, and then would they mention your name and say, "Hey,
Or I would call the owner and say, "Hey, so and so is coming. This is the venue we're thinking of, or that we're going downtown, or we're going to be at a farm. So she needs clothes for this or that." So.
And then they start to like you because you're sending them business. And then how do you grow or nurture that relationship?
Stop in, for my own personal needs too, to shop for my kids, or just keep checking in, and check if a dress is ordered, check in with them, see if it's coming in.
I think something you're saying, that's it. And we're kind of glossing over it, but keep your foot in the door means you have to show your face.
Yes, find a reason to go in. There's a reason.
Yes. Find a reason to go in so that they remember who you are. Otherwise, you could be forgettable.
Yeah.
Which is the enemy of our business.
I know.
I don't want anybody to forget, so that means you have to show up.
Yes.
Otherwise, if a year goes by, they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, sort of." But if you're sending them clients all the time and you're just popping in, top of mind, that awareness, then they send you clients. And how do you then make it mutually beneficial? So, for instance, this past spring you did a lot of First Communion photos.
Yes.
and that goes really well for you.
Yes.
So talk to us about the shop that sells those dresses, and how you kind of worked all of that.
We ended up working together on social media because I did send a lot of clients to her, to get clothing, and so we worked together on her social media campaign. So
you'd give her photos?
I would use the photos, and I would just write on them the details of the store and the trunk shows, and give her the images in Dropbox, and she'd upload them to her Facebook or Instagram page.
And she's probably thrilled to have professional images, wasn't she?
Yes.
I mean, she didn't really have access to that for the most part.
No, clients would share, an iPhone image with her, but it wasn't the same.
So you found a way. We talked about this earlier this year. Do you remember before going into the season?
Yes.
We were talking about how do I add value. So here's this shop. I like what she sells. I like her outfits. I like when my clients use her. What can I do to add value to her to make her life easier?
Yes.
And that's what you did. And I bet, I don't know them, but I bet they love you. Do you feel like it's a really good relationship?
Yeah. Yes.
So they
become friends.
You become friends, and it goes beyond the first communion then, right? Doesn't it? Because then it's like, well, I have friends, and I'm telling them you've got to use this photographer, and you're telling me you got to go to this shop. It's just smart. Yes. But this is feet on the pavement. This is not sitting in your office behind your computer. This is you out showing your face. There's a lot of value in that, don't you think?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else in that relationship that you think might be beneficial? Like, for instance, have you ever walked into a shop or been turned down, or do you ever worry about what if they say no, or what if they don't want to work with me? Does that ever cross your mind?
No.
No. Of course it doesn't.
No.
Not an option.
No.
Why wouldn't they want to work with me?
Try it. I don't know. Think positively. Write it down. If you're nervous about calling somebody to leave them your marketing materials or something, write it down. Think positively. Plan it out, and then it'll happen.
Execute.
Yeah.
You have a very, very good mindset. I read books on this. You're like the poster child of it. This, I'm going to think, it's just going to happen. Failure's not an option for me.
No.
I always tell Craig, I shrug my shoulders and I say, I don't know, things just work out for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yes.
It's because I think that I have something to offer. You seem very confident. You're competent, so you're confident. And you think, why wouldn't they want to work with me?
I know.
I want to add value.
Yes.
So I love it. Failure's not an option. Has anybody even ever said no to you? No, not really. Have they?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You just don't even register.
If it happened, I moved on. You just move on.
Right. That is great. Okay. Do you see a mistake that new photographers are making that you would like to share with them? Say, oh, be careful. You might want to try this instead. Hey, and if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Maybe I'll see them. Sometimes they don't show up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
I would just say, be yourself. Really fine tune what you want to work with. What genre of photography.
Yes.
Don't be the jack of all trades.
Yes. That's a good one.
Yeah, really fine tune that. Fine tune your editing style. Know who you are. And just be confident in the product you're going to sell before you start selling it.
There you go. Good advice.
I got a Christmas card before I started my business. I got a Christmas card from a friend that we lived in Washington D.C. after college. So her friend, who was also a friend of mine, they sent a Christmas card, and I saw that she had taken the photos and she had started a photography business after being a lawyer.
Oh.
And so I called her and I said, how did this happen? And then, she walked me through, talked about a workshop she went to, and she said, do not sell your work until you know that you have every eyelash in focus. So I practiced that, and until I was confident that my photos were good enough, then I hit the ground running.
I'm going to use that because I love eyelashes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But I had never thought of it that way. Don't sell your work until you know you can get a sharp photo.
Yes.
If you can't get a photo that's in focus, it's not time yet. We need to not that I don't miss a focus, but in general.
It happens.
Right. In general, your photos should be in focus in order to sell them.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. Okay. Do you consider yourself successful? What does that look like to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm successful, and it's a couple different reasons. It's just not financial.
No.
It's making sure there's a home cooked meal on the table for my kids. because that's important to me, that I'm there for them and I'm not missing too much.
Yes.
I really don't. I try to work around their schedule. And also too, just having the word of mouth referrals. I mean, that has shown me success.
Yes. You're very good at protecting. You have integrity and you protect your reputation because you know that you've worked all these years to build up that word of mouth, and in 5 seconds it can be ruined. So you have to be so careful, meaning be where you say you're going to be reliable, dependable, have integrity, communicate with people, because that one, you drop one client, meaning you miss a communication and you could ruin all of that.
Oh yeah, more people will find out about that than if you did something
right. They
which
say
is unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, but that people tend to focus on the negative. They say in restaurants, for every negative review, there's probably 100 people that are happy. They just didn't say it. Yeah, but when somebody's unhappy, they let everybody know. So it's my job to do my best to keep everybody happy. I didn't prepare you for this, but have you ever had an unhappy client? Or someone that has not liked their photos? I wonder. That's a good question. I should ask everybody. Has anyone ever? I had a newborn client once that was not real thrilled with her photos, and I mean, I'm sorry. It was awkward.
I know.
I did everything I could to make it better. Would you like me to reshoot? Here's product. Could I offer you a complimentary album? And we smoothed things over, but I think she just wasn't into my style, really.
Yeah, I know. You do have to qualify people and make sure it's the right fit.
Which means it was my fault.
Yes, and then sometimes I can't say that somebody was really not happy with my work, but based on the sales, it probably wasn't my best sale. And so I look back and I'd say, there was something I did wrong there.
Yeah, it's totally my fault. So you're primarily focused on families and children, but I want to talk for just a minute about your headshot business. Because the first time you explained to me what you do with headshots, in the corporate and then individual, I was like, you are so inspiring. I thought, I'm going to get in headshots. Like when you left that day, I was like, I'm going to start a headshot business. Val's doing it and you're killing it. So you enjoy that.
I do, and I kind of do that in my off season. I'd say in the winter I pick that up, but I don't have a lot of time to fit that in spring, summer, and fall. But in the winter,
because why not?
To do that.
Yeah. So you do corporate, and you have a rate for that, and then you do just individual. But it seems to me like you have a lot of demand for that. Do you?
It's growing. Yes.
And then you didn't even try. Things just work out for you.
But people want a photo that's going to stand out. Yeah, everybody has, an online business these days or a multi-level marketing business, and they want to stand out as well.
And so all that happened was you had a few that you treated very well. You took nice photos, and they told a few, and somebody else saw it, and then the next thing you know, you charge for these. They're not inexpensive, and people pay it.
Yeah.
How did you approach pricing? I know you did in-person sales, but when you were approaching your pricing model, what did that look like to you in the beginning, and how did it evolve?
I set my pricing higher, I guess, and it has, every time I meet with you, we tweak it. That's for sure. Constant tweaking. Yeah. It's never the same. So, I was confident in my product and set the pricing out there, and I did not shoot and burn. I sold prints.
You sold prints.
So,
and your frames too.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
It's something I enjoy just based on decorating and shopping, and so that was just a way to be a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Get those prints on the wall and get them hung up and look nice and get more referrals out of it.
You invest a lot of time in each client then,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the in-person sale,
right.
And then, framing their images and, going back. I'm in front of them a lot.
A lot?
Yeah, which helps.
Is smart.
Yeah, and we end up chatting and talking and become friends.
Right, and then they tell their friends.
Yeah.
And you have relationships, I know, with different vendors, but you are all over the place, you're trying to find better frames and unique frames, and you're working this, and you have something that you post every week. Tell us about that.
It's called Frame It Friday, #FrameItFriday.
That's so smart.
And I update a framed image of mine. I try to most Fridays.
Yeah.
In the winter, that was my New Year's resolution to do that.
And you did.
And I did.
I was watching.
I know.
Yeah, because we talked about
yes.
it. Yeah.
You were holding me accountable.
I was.
And and So I try to keep that up.
And I've noticed, Frame It Friday, I see it pop up.
Yes.
What's the importance of having a coach or a mentor to help you in your business?
Just to keep me going, you know, like I just, you know, I want to get better and go from here, and you're going to just do that for me.
Because you're so successful, one might think, okay, well then what do you even do? I mean, we have a 4-hour mentoring session today. You do not mess around.
No.
You're like, we're going to go all day, and we're going to, and I'm betting you have a list.
I have a list. I always have a list.
You have a list of things that we're going to go through, and we'll just like bam, 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 because you're always refining. Like, how can I do it better? Even though it's really good.
Yes.
Right? What's something that we might work on today that you'd want to share?
We're definitely going to work on pricing.
Always.
And with high school senior photos coming up, just refining pricing and putting packages together with that.
Yeah. So. Have you ever thought about the saturation in the industry? And a lot of new photographers I work with will say, there's so many photographers, how can I stand out? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I thought about that this morning when I was getting ready, and the Today Show was on and a commercial came on about UPMC, and I thought, well, there's 2 big hospital networks in Pittsburgh, and they have over 7,000 doctors in the Pittsburgh area. They're not closing down their doctors' offices because they're too many. Right. They specialize. They, you know, there's obviously really good ones, and then there's mediocre ones, and there's a place for everybody, but really specialize and hone in on what you want.
Specializing and becoming really good in your area, finding your target market, and sort of elevating yourself, right? Yes. I think that that's key. Yeah, saturation doesn't bother me because I think the more competition at my level, the better we all get. The better, better. And then the better the client has to choose from. Yes. And there is enough for everyone. There is enough for everybody. There are a ton of people in this area, and there's all different levels. So it is fun. Good. Okay, what's next for you? What are you learning now?
Vacation is next.
Summer vacation.
I need a break.
Yeah, where are you headed?
We're going to Florida at the end of June.
Good. Yeah.
So that's next. And then I've just been actually working on me, just making sure the workouts that I work out, that I have me time, reading a few books. I've been listening on YouTube to Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary V. You know, you can't listen to him when the kids are around.
Nope.
However, but it just like takes my business to another level.
It's like motivating.
It's like Rocky, you know?
Oh yeah, he is. He's like, go. That guy is wired.
He is.
I listen to him and then I need a break.
Yeah, then you need like some Enya or something. Some soft music.
Ooh. Yeah, he's kind of wacky. But you know, you make a good point though, is that you're focusing on yourself, making yourself better. So we talked about that this morning, exercising every day, getting enough sleep, taking care of, you know, having a good relationship with your husband, with your kids. That's all first.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And then the business. Yeah, I like to work out my body and my mind at the same time, so I do it first thing in the morning. Podcasts. All different podcasts. I have a huge list that I listen to. I read a book a week. I mean, we're the same.
I know. I hate to put away laundry, so I always have like Flourish.Academy videos going or something on my iPad while I'm putting away laundry.
So you feel like you're productive.
I know.
Right? Like I'm not wasting time folding these clothes.
Yes.
I'm actually learning something.
Yes.
So you are you're a perpetual learner.
I am.
Yeah. You like to. You enjoy learning new things. What's one kind of maybe hobby or thing that's different that you've learned that we wouldn't expect? That's maybe out of this area.
I don't know.
Like if you could take a course, if you know, because Creative Live has everything. If there was something that you could take, like last year or maybe the year before, I took a hand lettering class.
Oh, that's neat.
To learn, when I write thank you notes, I wanted to be able to write someone's name really pretty.
Yeah.
So, and I have engineering writing, so it's not pretty. And I learned how to, you know, all of the different types of fonts and how to draw them. Yeah. I took a class on it. It's bizarre. But I like to learn different things like that. And I feel like you're like that. Like you would like to learn.
I like to learn about business and, you know, life skills. And, I don't know, just anything. Learn about being the best version of yourself.
Amen
and just,
I'm with you. That's very
personal growth. That sort of thing. So I guess that's what I'm on.
My friend Mar and I are like constant on the personal growth.
Yes.
Like every day. Did you listen to this podcast? Yeah. Did you read this book? What? That's blowing my mind. Every day. And then what I like to do is learn it so I can teach it. Because when I teach it, I get to learn it twice.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm so lucky.
That's neat.
Isn't that right? Okay, where can people connect with you? Where can they find you?
Instagram is at Val T Photo.
Val T Photo.
And Valerie Thomas Photography on Facebook.
Make sure you like it. I'll post.
Website
post
is the same. Just
yes.
Valerie Thomas Photography.
Oh, all right. Keep being awesome. We're gonna get to work.
Thank you.
I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.
you.
We'll see you. Bye bye.